Landlords, welcome back to our FAQ Friday. If you are new here, my name's Michaela. I post videos every Wednesday and Friday regarding all things property management. So today's question actually comes from our first submission. His name is Scott. Thank you so much, Scott, for submitting a question and for allowing me to share with everybody else on here. So his question was, Michaela, what are red flags that I should be looking for in tenants? So what is a red flag tenant and what are the different type of red flag tenants? I definitely thought this question would be helpful to a lot of you landlords out there, especially myself managing landlords out there. So there are different type of red flag tenants. Some may be more obvious than others, but I'll definitely define each one. So the first red flag tenant is actually going to be your high maintenance tenant. Right away, they're just overly rude, very demanding. I mean, right from the get, they're negotiating rent, security deposit. So these type of red flag tenants are going to be the tenants that want their maintenance issues taken care of right then and there, even if they're a non-emergency maintenance issue. So really look out for these high maintenance tenants because they will be your absolute nightmare. That will be the one that will give you a call 24/7. They're going to be calling you at 3 o'clock in the morning. They just won't ever be happy, and they are just the most demanding tenant. Now, the next red flag tenant is going to be the one who is actually not willing to give up their information. A normal tenant who has nothing to hide will have no problem giving up their information because they understand that it's a normal process to go through a background check and everything that we need to do in a screening. Now, if they're very on edge about providing you with basic information that is pretty normal when you're applying for places, this is definitely a red flag. So just keep in mind that those who have something to hide will definitely drag their feet and take as long as possible to provide you with that information. So keep in mind, definitely a red flag. So this one might be kind of obvious. So the next red flag obviously deals with credit. We check credit. It's a good way to look at somebody and look at how responsible they are, look at how a good high quality tenant will always welcome a credit check. They have no problem with it. They understand that it's procedure and they have nothing to hide because they've always been very financially responsible. So that won't be a problem. However, it will be definitely quite the opposite for a red flag tenant. So keep that in mind. As tying right in with credit is actually going to be the credit report itself. So like I said, if someone doesn't have anything to hide, they won't have a problem with it. Somebody with something to hide or that they know will show negatively, definitely give you that pushback. Remember, in the credit, not only their credit score, but the credit report is very important because it will verify their information, credit score, their credit history, major public records, inquiries. You want to see what is on their credit report to get a really good idea of how financially responsible they are and kind of what's their history. You know, did they recently just skyrocket their credit or did it recently just plummet? What is their history? Have they always been very consistent, always had really good on-time payments? You just really want to delve into that because it's going to show you how they are and where they're at financially. So now in addition to running a credit check, the background check, that's where you will find major red flags if there are any. Now the next red flag tenant is someone who is going to be super eager to move in. And I mean overly eager to where it's kind of suspicious. And you'll know the difference between someone excited to move into a place and someone who is overly eager to move in. So now these people they're overly eager because they could have been served an eviction notice, a 3-day notice, or that they could just be trying to shorten their landlord and leave without giving notice, period. So someone eager to move in, like I would say someone overly eager to move in can definitely be a red flag for you, and I would delve into that a little bit more if possible. And then a couple more that I won't really define as much, pretty much self-explanatory. If you can verify their references as far as previous landlords, verifying employment history and income. Another possible red flag would be somebody asking questions about pets, like how many they can have, or what type of pets are allowed or not allowed, because they could be trying to bring in a breed that is deemed unsafe, as well as maybe too many pets. So sometimes if they're asking questions regarding how many pets and what type of pets or what breed of pets, I would definitely just kind of be wary of that. It's not necessarily too big of a red flag, but it can potentially turn into a red flag. The next red flag would be somebody potentially showing off too much. So if somebody is really overly trying to make a great first impression, trying to be very flashy with, you know, their clothes, their car, or jewelry, it could be because they're trying to distract from something else that may come up on their credit report, background check, or something with their employment history or landlord references, whatever the red flag may be. Sometimes a tenant who is showboating too much can most definitely be a red flag. And then of course, the most obvious is dishonesty and deceit, especially from the beginning. If you find your tenant lying on anything on the application, that is definitely a red flag to let you know that they are dishonest, they're deceitful, and that they are most definitely have red flag signs. So to touch on the different type of red flags in a quick summary: the high maintenance tenant, the tenant who is unwilling to provide requested information, tenant with really poor credit, looking at their credit report, background check, if they're asking too many questions about pets, are overly eager to move in, ensuring that they have verifiable landlord references, verifiable employment history and income, if they are showing off too much, and as well as if they are dishonest or they are deceitful in any way during the screening and application process. All right, I just want to say thank you again to our subscriber Scott, who went ahead and asked me this question regarding the type of red flag tenants. Remember, landlords, we post videos every What's What Wednesday and FAQ Friday. If you have any questions and would like me to shout you out in one of our videos, please feel free to go ahead and click on the link below. I would definitely love to address you on here. And all my contact information will be below as well as this article that I will include. All right, landlords, this is Makayla providing you with the higher standard in property management. Talk to you soon, landlords.